Now, once we get the authoritative DNS server address by using whois, we can identify any additional hosts in the domain, such as FTP server, mail server, and so on. If there are any other services in this domain, we can also extract information from them. Now, another way to discover subdomains and the host is to query search engines, and then you can compare the results. Okay, so here you might be confused about host and subdomain, so let me give you a quick explanation. If you think of the address x.example.com, now x is the subdomain of example.com. And x.example.com can be a host if it is connected to an IP address and resolves to a computer when one goes to x.example.com. Cool? So anyway, there are multiple ways to extract additional host and subdomain information. So that means there's lots of tools out there for us to use on this purpose. And I'm going to use two tools that are already present in Kali, Fierce and the Harvester. Now, Fierce is a really cool tool. Besides that, it uses brute force methods to get subdomains. Also, after it finds a valid host, then it performs a reverse lookup to uncover additional hosts. And here are the options for Fierce. Okay, so first we're going to run a basic scan. So type fierce-dns google.com/root/desktop/googleinfo.txt and hit enter. So the DNS parameter specifies the domain that you want to scan. So in our example, it is google.com. By default, Fierce runs in single thread mode. So because of this, I can add the threads parameter to increase the speed. So that makes the scan run faster. And then the file parameter helps us to save the results to a file. Now, while scanning the hosts or subdomains, what happens in the background? So Fierce first tries to find the DNS servers for the target domain. And next, as I'm showing you on the screen, it attempts to do a zone transfer. Now, at this point, if a zone transfer is successful, Fierce will stop running. And then you can take that information that you got from the zone transfer. Now, if zone transfer fails, as it has in our scan, it checks if wildcard DNS is enabled. And then it performs a brute force against the domain using its built-in word list. Okay, so now the scan is complete. And as you can see, once the scan is finished, the found subdomains and discovered subnets are listed. We can also view and save the file, but the content is not that different. In fact, it's not different at all from the output on our screen. It just makes it convenient. And by default, Fierce uses its own built-in word list. But it also provides the ability to use a custom word list that you can build. And sometimes different word lists can uncover new subdomains. So the second tool is the Harvester. It is another subdomain scanner, and it gathers public information such as employee names, emails, subdomains, banners, and other similar information. But for now, we're just going to deal with subdomains and host. And type the Harvester, and you'll see options. Now, it's quite easy to use this tool, so let's just run it quickly. Type the Harvester-D and the domain that you want to search. So in my case, of course, it's google.com. It might be strange because I will be using Bing to search for google.com. But by using the B parameter, you can provide a data source. L parameter limits the search output. So the harvester will analyze the first 500 search results of Bing about google.com. And finally, the F parameter helps us to save the result to a file. Okay, so hit Enter to run. And first, the search is conducted. Then it will analyze the result. Okay, so here's what we expected to see. So now, go to the saved file directory. I'm going to go to the desktop, and here's a file. So let's have a look. So it's not very different from the output that's on the screen, but at least we can have smaller graphics. Great, so you can run these tools or some other ones if you wish for your target. You can go ahead and practice that.